So, Mayor Lee, San Francisco is not unique among American cities with grievous pension problems. Can you characterize what the problem is in San Francisco briefly, and then how you're attempting to deal with it?
Well, the problem basically is that we haven't paid attention to it. And for years, our pension programs, while it's a modest program, it's not a very rich program. But really, it came about in the 2008 stock market crash, the Lehman days, where all of our costs went up, but including when the investments didn't return, then by law and by our agreements, the city contributions had to increase. What we didn't do was take a close look at rules and regulations in our pension system that had been there for many, many years, where we didn't get corresponding increases in contributions from our employees, and also where there were formulas that were built in over many years that caused a lot of the increases, so that we were looking at this year an increase of $125 million in 1 year just based on the pension increase costs.
And this is a fund that's approximately $16 billion in assets, a little bit less than that.
That's right.
And some of the formulas and things baked in that you're talking about, examples of this are overtime formulas or retirement formulas that allow certain civil servants to earn a lot of money based on what their most recent salary was when they retired.
That's right, so-called spiking, where an employee during the last couple of years or the last year, they'll get a higher paying job and perhaps not really do that job for a year, but get the higher pay, and then they'll retire off that. That's called pension spiking.
Now, explain to me briefly, if you would, the solution that your office came up with labor and other interested parties to solve the pension problem.
Well, on the pension side, as the numbers became very clear about what we had to do, we literally had to think of ways in which we could overcome what other cities had not been able to do. And certainly if the mayor's office had dictated at the beginning a number, it would not be very welcome, because it wouldn't. I think many of the labor unions who would be affected by this challenge might not understand why. And so we evolved with the deliberations of the union employees and our wonderful director of human resources a chart that allowed numbers to float. And we came up with a concept where if the city was required at any given year to contribute more into the fund, then there would be a corresponding increase of contributions from the employees. At the same time, if there were great years where our pension investments doing so well that the city contribution would be less, we would then also provide a benefit to the employees by them contributing less. Well, that float, if you will, that float chart allowed us to discuss vested rights with employees in a very positive way. They saw the benefit, they saw the challenge, and that was where we made the biggest breakthrough with current employees, because we knew that if the current 26,000 employees didn't increase their contributions, all the other things we would do would pale in comparison to that contribution, and we wouldn't be able to make a dent into the deficits that we're facing on the pension.
And now you've said that because of this float scenario, you can't have a specific number for how much money the reform will save, but you've estimated it'll be between $800 million and $1 billion over a decade.
That is correct.